Good Tuesday evening, January 21st, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Grant County woman is accused of leading East Wenatchee police on a chase throughout the city on Monday night, only stopping after officers twice used a pit maneuver to disable her vehicle. The Women's Service League of North Central Washington is bringing back their annual My Girlfriend's Closet coming up in March. High clouds with chilly temperatures the next couple of days with a warm-up by the end of the week. Your local weather forecast is coming up. Three Moses Lake men were arrested Monday for allegedly taking part in an assault and carjacking. Grant County Sheriff's deputies say the incident took place in the Wheeler community on the edge of Moses Lake about 3 p.m. The victim told police he stopped his car to pick up two men asking for a ride. When they arrived at a nearby home, the two men allegedly began beating the victim and were joined by a third person who stole the driver's keys. 33-year-old Lazaro Castro Salvador, 32-year-old Enrique Leon, and 37-year-old Francisco Romero were arrested and face possible charges, including second-degree robbery. All three men were held today in the Grant County Jail. A Grant County woman is accused of leading East Wenatchee police on a chase throughout the city on Monday night, only stopping after officers twice used a pit maneuver to disable her vehicle. 36-year-old Brittany L. Moss allegedly drove away from an attempted traffic stop at about 9:30 p.m. at 5th Street and North Colorado Avenue, where police tried to pull her over for speeding and expired registration. Moss was driving a white Nissan Altima. According to officers, she then ignored stop signs and crossed the center line while police attempted to stop her. One pit maneuver was ineffective, but a second stopped the car in the 100 block of North Kentucky. Police are seeking charges against Moss, including DUI and eluding a traffic stop. In the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, Congressman Dan Newhouse has been appointed to several key committees and subcommittees. The 4th District representative, now entering his 6th term in Congress, was appointed to the House Committee on Agriculture and 3 appropriations subcommittees, including Agriculture, Energy, and Homeland Security. He's also assigned a select committee on U.S. competition with China. From the 8th District, Congresswoman Kim Schreier starts her 4th term as a member of the minority Democratic Party. She retained her seat on House Energy and Commerce, but so far has not been reassigned to any subcommittees. Schreier, a pediatrician, held a chair on the Congressional Panel on Health during her last term. The wheat farming communities of Mansfield and Waterville were awarded a little over $44,000 to support local projects. The Mansfield Community Fund was awarded $35,000 to support 3 projects, including furnishing Pioneer Hall with new tables and chairs and enhancing Main Street with heritage-themed displays. Funding was also secured by the Mansfield Museum and Historical Society to complete restoration of the Great Northern Railway section Foreman House. The Waterville Community Fund distributed a little over $9,200 for another 3 community enrichment projects, including to the Waterville Food Pantry for exterior building maintenance. The North Central Washington Fair will get funding to complete renovations of the open-class horse barn, and the Waterville Main Street Association will use the grants to bring festive holiday experiences to their downtown. When we come back, a local East Wenatchee couple got engaged in August of 2024 while competing in Beast Games, hosted by the world's most popular YouTuber. And the East Wenatchee Police Department has ventured into the realm of video podcasts. We'll show you coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
The Women's Service League of North Central Washington is bringing back their annual My Girlfriend's Closet 2025 from March 13th through the 16th. This year, the donation event will be held at the vacant Big Lots building while also accepting drop-off donations at different locations. Community members can drop off belongings at Heidi Huddle Allstate Insurance and Standard Paint and Flooring, both in Wenatchee, as well as Town Toyota sales in East Wenatchee. Clothing items accepted for donations are gently used or new women's clothing, shoes, handbags or wallets, swimwear, bras, and accessories. The following weekend, the Women's League will be holding their prom dress giveaway. A local East Wenatchee couple got engaged in August of 2024 while competing in Beast Games, hosted by the world's most popular YouTuber, Mr. Beast. Steve England and Tiffany Weaver were among 2,000 contestants participating to win a $5 million grand prize. The games are filmed as part of Mr. Beast's reality TV series, which streams on Prime Video. In the games, Mr. Beast offers cash bribes for players to take and leave early. England took that opportunity, leaving the show with $20,000. Weaver could not be bribed to leave the show early and was eliminated at the end of episode 3. The East Wenatchee Police Department has ventured into the realm of video podcasts. Interrogate Us is a new series where top cops take questions about law enforcement, streaming on the department's Facebook and Instagram pages. In the first edition, Police Chief Rick Johnson and Assistant Chief Eric Hampton take on questions about cannabis enforcement.
Is there a minimum age requirement for the possession and consumption of marijuana?
In Washington State, it's the same as alcohol, and it's 21 years of age.
How much recreational marijuana can a person possess in the state of Washington?
For this one, it's
Losers.
Hey, we're doing a podcast here. Yeah, hey, we're working on that. Sorry.
up to 1 ounce of usable cannabis, 16 ounces of marijuana-infused edibles, and up to 72 ounces in the liquid form.
Okay. Where can somebody legally use or consume marijuana in the state of Washington?
This is a commonly asked question we get. You're going to see people do violate this law and abuse this one sometimes, but it is technically in a private residence where the owner or the person in control of the residence has given permission. So not in public parks, not in the street, not on the sidewalk, not in view of the public.
Can a person receive a DUI when they're on marijuana?
They can. Similar to an alcohol DUI, if you're under the influence of marijuana, which the tests are similar that check for signs of influence, you can get a marijuana DUI. And it's pretty common in our area.
Coming up next, Chelan County's Public Defense Agency has just finished its first year in a new home. In tonight's feature story, the director tells us how the new office helps maintain the agency's mission of providing legal defense to anyone accused of a crime in Chelan County. Sunshine and seasonally cool weather is expected through the week. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you. The relatives, friends, and neighbors helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties. Call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Chelan County's Public Defense Agency has just finished its first year in a new home. Since its start in 2007, the Council for Defense of Chelan County kept offices at 115 South Chelan Avenue. But last year, the team of 10 lawyers and 6 support staff moved to new offices in Mission Tower at 303 South Mission Street. Jeremy Ford is the second director in the history of the Council for Defense. In tonight's feature story, he says the new office helps maintain the agency's mission of providing legal defense to anyone accused of a crime in Chelan County.
Here is our entrance. Oops. My name is Jeremy Ford. I'm the Executive Director of Council for Defense of Chelan County, a public defense firm here in Chelan County. We represent all indigent people here in the county that have been alleged to have committed a crime. So we are essentially a nonprofit, and we get all of our money essentially is from the county. We get a small, I think it's about 5% of our budget comes from the state. Other than that, we're relying on it. We rely on our budget for a contract with the county. So we contract with the county to represent people. We were just looking for kind of a newer place and a place a little bit more ADA accessible. That was one thing that always worried me as being a director there. We really weren't able to accommodate people with disabilities as well, because we had, we didn't have access to the upstairs, and the front of the stairs contained steps for people with wheelchairs. So it was really kind of, something I looked at when we moved to a new place. And the other place was getting older. We had issues with, holes in the walls, windows that didn't work, windows that were stuck open, that kind of thing. So this building is newer. We invested in building these offices, which money we had saved. The other place was a little bit closer to the courthouse, but we're only really about a block and a half away from where we were before. So that's what we like about it. I think it's a good representation for our clients to look around and see, oh, they have a nice office. We used to have paper files. You're required to keep files based on the level of the crime. Adult Class A felonies are lifetime. Class B felony, I think they're 10 years, and Class C 5 years. So we used to have to retain like physical files. So at our old space, we had 2 rooms that were just full of files stacked from floor to ceiling, which was interesting if you had to go down there and look for an old file. Now it's a lot easier because with our collection system, you can just go through and pull it off online. Everything is cloud-based, so we have all our storage cloud-based, but there's a lot of storage. Now what we did is we went through and we actually hired somebody before we moved, and they scanned all the paper files into the electronic system. So everything that was in a previous client's file is still in the file electronically. I always grew up, we were underprivileged. I grew up like a lot of these people we represent. I have a lot of addiction in my family. I was divorced. My family was broken up at a young age. My father was an alcoholic. My brother was a drug addict who's now passed away. So I think I can relate to a lot of these people, and I think that's what keeps me going in this. And I think that's what's important about this, is to remember these are people and not criminals, which is what I think a lot of people like to paint them as. But to be honest, I see, a lot of the people I represent every day. I have clients that work at, regular jobs. I was always taught you had to protect the rights of the worst people out there to protect the rights of everyone. And that's kind of how I've always done things. In order to be in this, I think you really have to have a commitment, especially to be in it more than 3 or 4 years, because that's usually people can make it through a year or 2 without, too much problems. But after that, I think is when you kind of separate people that really want to be public defenders and people that, just want to be lawyers.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Tuesday was a good one. Plenty of sunshine out there. Temperature-wise, a little cooler than we should see for this time of year, but not a bad late January day up to Lake Wenatchee outside our weather window, and lots of blue sky up that way, which made for a beautiful shot this afternoon. As saw some reflection earlier on Lake Wenatchee from the Cascades. So all in all, not a bad day out there. And this trend is really going to continue as we make our way through the week and into our upcoming weekend. All of us going to be fairly cool. To Chelan, 31 and 28 over the next couple of days. Moses Lake, mid-30s. Here in Wenatchee, we'll be in the low 30s, and that looks like that will continue right through the weekend and into the first part of next week. We'll talk more about that coming up, but also here's your early February outlook, and I'll tell you what, it looks like temperatures are going to be below normal. In fact, we have a likely chance that we will be below normal throughout most, and if not all, of Washington State through the month of February. And as far as precip goes, more than likely that we will be above normal as far as precip. So we haven't seen much winter yet. It looks like we could be seeing it in the month of February. So stay tuned for that. Today's high temperature unofficially 33 degrees, right in the ballpark where we should be pretty much for this time of year at 34. Our record high 48 degrees, and that was set in 2011. This morning it was a cold one, 16 degrees out there. That's almost 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Our record cold 1 degree below zero, and that was set in 1962. Sunrise this morning 7:38, and it set this afternoon at 4:47. Let's get you now into your Wednesday temperatures, and it's going to be a lot like today, mid-30s for Moses Lake and Ephrata. Quincy, low to mid-30s, while the rest of us will be in those low 30s. 32 for Wenatchee, 31 Entiat and Chelan, only 29 for the third day in a row for highs up in Omak, 30 for Leavenworth, and 31 the high temperature tomorrow in Kashmir. Tonight we can expect mostly clear skies, double dose of high pressure providing a gigantic ridge well up into British Columbia. So with those clear skies, going to get chilly tonight, but not quite as chilly as this morning. Talking about 20, 21 degrees for lows tonight. For Wednesday, just some of those high clouds throughout Washington State, but we'll stay, I guess you can call it chilly, even though we're pretty much normal for this time of year. Highs in the low 30s. For your Thursday, more of those high clouds out there, giant area of high pressure. It is providing that northerly flow into Washington, keeping us a little bit on the chilly side with highs in the mid-30s for Thursday. But a little bit of a reprieve as we get you into Friday. We will see a bit of warmer air coming up into Washington State Friday, so mostly sunny, highs in the upper 30s. Some folks may see 40 degrees on Friday, and then it's back to normal on Saturday, but not a bad weekend ahead. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky on Saturday, with high temperatures Saturday afternoon in the mid-30s, and not much change for Sunday either. We're going to see a lot of sun. Washington, Oregon, over into Idaho and Montana, just clear skies with highs again into those low and mid-30s. And then by the end of our forecast on Monday, as we kick off another work week, sunny skies, and we'll stay in this chilly weather pattern. High temperatures again in those low to mid-30s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Tonight, 22 degrees, 32 tomorrow, 34 on Thursday. Both days, we'll see some of those high clouds out there, and then just nothing but sunshine. Friday right through Monday. Friday, our warmest day at 38, and then Saturday through Monday, high temperatures generally in the low to mid-30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Well, good Tuesday to you. Ichiro Suzuki is officially a Hall of Famer. The Baseball Writers of America voted to put Ichiro into Cooperstown. Ichiro made his Major League debut with the Mariners back on April 2nd, 2001 after playing 7 years in Japan. He set the MLB record of 262 hits in a year in 2004. He hit his 3,000th hit with Miami in 2016. He retired from baseball in Japan with the Mariners in 2019. Ichiro is the first Asian-born player to be selected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Seattle Kraken held off Buffalo for a 6-4 win in NHL play yesterday. Seattle had 6 different players find the back of the nets, while Joey Decord stopped 25 of 29 shots on goal.
Kraken tie it up against the wall. Now Krebs, near line, kept on by Power. Straight away, long-range shot, tipped in, they score! In below the goal line, Obey, Kubel, Darlene hammering him. John Hayden down low as well for the Seattle Kraken. Here's Stevens up the wall. Evans saves it, left side, shoots, knocked down in front. Rebound, Hayden scores! Rakowski picks it up off the board. Stevenson behind. Now he'll send it to the high slot. Evans fires. That one blocked on the way through. Picked up by Bjorkstrand. Turned aside. Rebound. Chandler Stevenson scores! Straight away at the point. Down to the circle, Beniers. Stevenson. Beniers in the slot. Scores! Back to the offensive zone, Darlene. Off to Thompson to the high slot. Tate Thompson around Beniers. On his backhand, Larson forcing him to the outside. Up top, Darlene. Shot, tip, and he scores. Peterka knocked it down. This one batted back to the point by Krebs. Tate Thompson got by Schwartz. Thompson, right circle, shot right on, and he scores. McCann on the goal line. No carry behind the net. Owen Power hounding him. McCann to right in the slot. Alexiak scores! Jared McCann puts on the brakes. Into the corner for Wright. Laid off the wall is shot off the inboards now for McCann. Back to Larson. Scores! Breakout. Net empty for the Sabres. 6 on 5 with the extra attacker. Cracking ahead by a pair, 5-3. Here's Cousins. Off the end wall. Puck comes off the boards. Decord knocked it down. It was loose in front. Alex Tuck slots it in. He scores. Trying to head off the bench. There he goes. Zucker sends it in for the Sabres. Adam Larson in the corner. Alexiak rolls it up the wall, knocked down, far side. McCann fires, scores! Puck is down, one back to Alexiak. The man coming off his 100th career assist. The Seattle Kraken complete the season sweep of the Buffalo Sabres, their second 6-goal output against Buffalo.
Following the win, players and Coach Bilesman talked about Seattle answering the call several times during the game.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's just shows the belief system is probably a lot higher than it's been a month ago. So I mean, it's still believed till the end, and now we've started the home stretch pretty good, so just going to try to keep that going.
When our team's going well, our defensemen are up, they're making plays, they're scoring goals, and we've seen that, and it's good to get those guys back up in the play, coming down the weak side, getting shots off, so it's awesome to see, and we got to continue doing that, continue getting them up, using them, and letting them shoot them in the back.
I think there's a lot to compete. It's a fun group to be around, a lot of great intangibles. So when we're competing, it seems to all come together.
What do you like about the way your line's playing?
It's simple, a lot of talk, a lot of energy. Turbo's great to play with. Steve's doing a great job. Good at the dot, competes hard. So I think there's a lot of predictability, and that's helped us.
Big story of the game. I think the John Hayden response goal for sure. Obviously right after they score. And I thought, there was a portion in the second period where things got a little sideways after the power play. And them drawing even, but the response goal by the Ryder line there, making the play to Rigg. And Rigg scoring that goal was huge for us.
Seattle's back in action against the Washington Capitals Thursday night at 7 o'clock. It's on King 5 and Kong TV. The Wenatchee Wild are trying to recoup after a 1-2 weekend at Western Hockey League play. In Friday's 4-2 loss to Lethbridge, a milestone was reached by the Wild's Grant Reed, who scored his first WHL goal.
Grant got himself the first goal all taped up with the first WHL goal written on it. I don't know that Ty got one simply because he's been in the league for a long time. Played for Regina, played for I think Kamloops is where he started. So he's been in the league a while. None of the commemorative special stuff for our experienced veteran coming in from Regina. But yeah, Grant Reed has been battling for that first goal. He's been working hard. He looked really good on Sunday. Got a lot of good chances. Led a rush a couple times on that fourth line. Just wasn't able to put anything away against Tri-City back here.
So my question is, I guess, is it the actual puck?
Yes.
That they do? Because I was just curious. I wonder if they just reach into the equipment bag and say, "We'll just give them this one." I mean,
so one thing you'll notice after a first goal is scored is there's usually a little bit of a delay while they figure out, oh, it's his first goal. They retrieve the puck. They give it to the I think they give it to the equipment manager to hang on to, and then they'll skate over to the scorer's bench where they keep the cooler with the extra pucks on ice. They'll flip a new one into play. And so, yeah, that's the first puck that he scored in the Western Hockey League.
Wenatchee and Everett dropped the puck Friday night at 7 o'clock. Go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com for tickets. There were a couple of basketball games in our region in prep basketball on Martin Luther King Monday. The Moses Lake girls fell to White River at home 67-34. The Pateros boys beat Easton 66-44. Girls basketball scheduled today has Quincy at Othello, while Ephrata's hosting Okanagan. Brewster's in Chelan. Liberty Bell hosts Cascade. Tenaskeet's at Bridgeport. Lake Roosevelt visits Manson. Soap Lake entertains Pateros. Moses Lake Christian plays at Cascade Christian. Cashmere is in Cle Elum tonight at 7 o'clock. The Garden City Academy boys are at Easton today. The Cashmere and Cle Elum boys actually play before the girls tonight. Othello hosts Quincy. Okanagan's at Ephrata. It's Moses Lake Christian at LaSalle. Chelan hosts Brewster at 7:15. 7:30 games have Cascade at Liberty Bell. Bridgeport hosts Tenaskeet. Lake Roosevelt's at Manson. Cascade Christian hosts Thorpe. And Pateros visits Soap Lake. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.